Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear audience, today my topic: Do do school kill creativity? Sir Ken Robertson review. The review today: creativity is important in education as literacy and should be given in the same status. Unfortunately, unfortunately, the current education system around the world tend to educate out suppress creativity rather than cultivate it. Sir Robinson point out that nearly all education system rank subjects in a hierarchy mathematics and languages at the top, the art low down. Everywhere and dance is really taught in all school despite children naturally moving and watching the use of their bodies. He questions the purpose of public education by imagining, imagining and align visitors what it for after observing who succeed and who is demand a winner in schooling on might conclude that they are being training basically to become university professor. He uses this as a provocative point. He says, he says, intelligence is diverse. We think in many ways: visual, sound, movements, abstract, dynamic, brain, interact, and distract. Each person is different, and creativity is the process of coming up with original ideas that have value. Sir Ken Robertson says he finished by arguing the world in changing rapidly. We must rethink the fundamental principles of education and we must educate children who being not just their hands so they can face the future. Sir Ken Robertson says that what work compliance narrative and humor. Robertson says uses anecdotes and an conventional humor style which make the talk engaging and memorable. Universal relevance, the idea cut across cultures and countries. He shows that the agriculture structure of schooling is almost universal. This gives the talk global resonance. Sir Ken Robinson also says clear forming of creativity by equating creativity with literacy is importance. He challenges of fundamental assumption of schooling, provi- provocate questions by asking what the purpose of education and pointing to the suppression of mistakes. He tries reflecting about the widely accepted norms. Sir Robertson also light the over different values of life. Accessibility language, he does not rely on have educational theory jargon. This makes the talk easy to relate to by education, parents, and students alike. Sirkin Robertson, some limitation, says criticism, scope versus system complicity, while the talk effectively outline the problems and vision. It is less specific about how to implement large-scale reforms in complex education system, government policies, funding, teaching, training. Also, Sir Kin Robertson, culture context variation. The argument assumes the some models of schooling is dominate everywhere, is some place schooling models different, and there may be local constraints not fully addressed. Sir Kin Robertson asked balance of education requirements need to this time. While his critique of standardization and hierarchy is powerful, he perhaps underplay the needs of certain foundation skills, literacy, numeracy, and how they can be balanced with creativity in practice. Lack of detained actionable random. They talk Sirk in Robertson, they talk about the inspiring, but it if you are educator or policymaker looking for exact step, you may need to look further in his books or other resources. And also, Sirkin Robertson talk about the implications, key takeaway for you, and how they relate building a personal brand online. Since you are interested in a building a strong person brand online, they are some very relevant parallel and lesson to draw from this talk. Just as Robinson says, creativity should be as central as literacy when building a personal brand online. You should treat your creative voice, your unique perceptive style, stories as equal in importance to technical skill, education, etc., website designing, SEO, social media, etc. Sir Ken Robertson also asked the avoid to purely standardized approach. May people build their brand by copying others or following best practice. Reading Robinson, creating creating the conformity suggests you should embrace your uniqueness, your different talking, your willingness to be wrong and experiment. Sir Ken Robertson also about the imbalance risk of possibility of failure. Robinson argues that the children talk risk, make mistake, and that's essential for originality in personal branding. You need to try things that may flop. Those experimental often lead to something novel. recognized recognized diverse intelligence, just as schooling tends to privileging certain model thinking logics, logistic building personal brand means you should learn into the modes you strong in virtual storytelling, spoken word, audio, broadcast, movement, video, rather than feeling you must be do exactly what everyone else is doing. Education, your whole being when buildings a brand. It's not just about your hands skill, but your personality, your value, your body language, your voice. Be authentic and holistic. It's further facing, just as Robinson says, we must prepare children for the future. We cannot fully predict. You should build your brand with eye toward evolving trends. Be be a be adaptable. Stay curious rather than lock into a single static formula. They all value should be able to recommended the Sunkin Robertson. Thanks and Jazakallah.